What's up guys, Jay Cutton from Fitness Culture. Today we're going to be talking about a couple things that you can do to help clear up your low back pain. So we're going to talk about some soft tissue work that you can do, a couple stretches, and then we're also going to go over just some core work and some bracing work that you can do to help really fix your bracing pattern while you're doing some movements and help clear up that low back pain. All right, so the first thing we're gonna address today is your psoas muscle. It's a muscle that a lot of people don't work on as far as like soft tissue release and stretching it out. But anyway, it's a big muscle that is responsible for flexing your hip, and it originates in the very bottom of your thoracic spine, all throughout your lumbar spine, and then it attaches at your hip. And with a lot of our clients, we're working out so much, and then people get into the seated position all the time because they're on the computer or students or something like that. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna really tighten that psoas, and it's gonna force you into an anterior pelvic tilt, right? So you've seen people that get into this position, that's just gonna put a ton of stress in your low back and put you in that overextended position, and it's gonna cause a lot of low back pain. But for a lot of people, it's hard to brace because their psoas is so tight, so they can't get into a good position, right? So it's really important that we address these issues in the psoas first before we move on to our bracing techniques. All right, so we're gonna cover two of my favorite ways to kind of release that psoas a little bit. So the first one is gonna be a kettlebell smash. All you're gonna do is grab a kettlebell. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can grab a dumbbell as well. But you're just gonna take the weight of the kettlebell and you'll slide the kettlebell, just the bottom of the kettlebell, just right into your psoas. Basically, all you're gonna do is literally just let it sit there and roll back and forth and help that thing release a little bit. And you can straighten your leg too, because that'll release it a little bit. Just tighten that hip up and that'll lengthen it a little bit more. And you'll just sit here for a couple minutes and just work on moving it back and forth, taking some deep breaths and letting that release just a little bit. All right, this next drill is one of my favorites because not only are you gonna be able to roll it out a little bit, you can also stretch it at the same time. So what you're gonna do is set up on a foam roller. You're gonna go basically right on the side of your stomach right here, right on the edge of this foam roller. From there, you'll bend the off leg and then make sure to point that toe into the ground. And that's gonna allow you to really focus on pointing your toe into the ground. So point it up into the ground, yep. And then you're gonna drive basically your hip into the ground. So you're flexing your glute. And from there, you can posture up and really get a good stretch in it. So you just work back and forth, get a good stretch, really focus, turn that glute on, push that hip through. So spend a couple minutes on each side doing this as well. All right, so now that we've worked on releasing that psoas a little bit, we're gonna go over one of my favorite stretches for this. So you're gonna set up a band just on the rack like this. You're gonna step into the band, basically right at your glute and hamstring attachment right here. From there, you're gonna step into a lunge position, and you can put a pad right under your knee right here. The band's good because it's really gonna help you force that hip through, and really you can press into the band to help a little bit more. You're gonna squeeze that back glute. From there, you see how she's nice and extended right here. If this is enough tension, that's fine. If it's not, what you can do next is basically reach that hand up and then lean away during the stretch. And just spend about a minute in this stretch and you'll open up that whole side. All right, so now that we've opened up your psoas a little bit, stretched it out, we're gonna be talking about just some bracing techniques that you can do to really help you enforce a good, basically neutral pelvis when you work out. This is the drill we're gonna go over right now. You're gonna be on all fours. It's a good drill to start off with, just to kind of teach your client or yourself basically how to brace this way. So what you're gonna do is without moving your back at all. So you're gonna get a tabletop, don't move it at all. From there, you're gonna let your stomach just completely relax. I'm gonna put my hand under Sunny's stomach and I'm gonna have her flex her core basically into her spine without moving anything at all. So take her stomach out of my hands and flex, 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 flex. Hold it for 10 seconds. Try to get your low back muscles to fire and then relax. So what you're gonna do is about 10 reps, 10 seconds, and it's really gonna help you learn how to brace your core the right way. A lot of people, when they do it, the first thing they're gonna wanna do is tell them, take your stomach out of your hand, and they're immediately gonna do something weird with their back or something like that. And so this is just a great way. You can see it right in front of you, you know your back's not moving, and really try to pull your stomach out of your partner's hand or off of the ball or off of a bench, whatever you're using. So now, hopefully you've got the hang of learning how to brace your core a little bit. Now we're gonna move into a drill that I like to use with my clients that kind of forces them to use their core by adding band tension. So what you're gonna do is set up a couple lighter bands just up on a rack like this, and then you'll grab it. Go ahead and grab it, Sonny. So you'll grab it just over your head right here. Legs are straight out. From there, you're gonna pull the bands down to your sides, and naturally that's gonna force you to brace your core, right? So her core is nice and braced right here. From there, you're just gonna do a nice leg raise and really focus on bracing that core the whole time, and then bring it back down and then let it out. That's one rep. So the reason we're using this drill is basically because, like I was saying, it forces you to activate your core while you're moving through this range of motion. So what we graduated from just basically working on bracing your core. Now this is gonna force you to do that, and now we're gonna move into our next drill that's a little bit more difficult, and you're gonna be standing working on bracing your core while you're doing it. All right, so now that we've knocked that one out on the floor, we're gonna go into a standing position. It's kind of a similar drill, and what you really wanna focus on is just that mind to basically that bracing connection, right? So think about what it felt like when you were bracing on the ground and on all fours. You really wanna brace your core right here. So really focus on bracing your core, make sure you're in a nice neutral pelvic position. From there, you're gonna start with one leg out, just in a quarter, basically a quarter single leg squat position. And as you squat up, you're gonna pull the bands, and that's gonna help you fire your core even more. Stand up, and then go back out, just like that. Stand up, fire that core, fire, fire, fire. Good. So you'll do about 10 reps each leg on this one. All right, guys, that wraps it up for today. I hope that these drills help you clear up your low back pain. Like I was saying before, when I was coming out of high school, I had such a bad bulge disc that every time I'd go for a run, my feet would go numb, and it actually sent me home, sent me to physical therapy. And these were the drills that helped me fix my lower back and really make sure that I've lifted since then for over 10 years, completely pain-free, no back pain at all. If I had to pick one thing to do every day for my lower back, it would be to take care of your psoas. It's really important because if you keep that thing nice and long and mobile, it's not gonna tighten up and force you into that anterior tilt, which is really gonna cause that low back pain over the long term. Another thing that's really gonna help is to work on your hip mobility. So besides the stuff that we went over today, it's really important to work on your hip mobility. So if you wanna click right here, you can check out our hip mobility video. And as always, if you guys like this content, please leave me a comment and click down here to subscribe. Thank you.